Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The General State Budget 2016 encourages economic growth through continued development spending on economic and social projects. As an addition to local sources of income, 11 zones prove that gold is available and in waiting for investors. And the governorates of Musandam and Al-Barimi witness moderate to heavy rains with effects of the upper air through trough starts over northern of the Sultanate. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. The 2016 State's General Budget aims to encourage economic growth through development expenditure of economic and social projects, as well as preserving basic services level provided to the community. More details in the following report.
The State's General Budget for the fiscal year 2016 seeks to achieve a set of objectives in line with the overall framework for the 9th Five-Year Development Plan 2016-2020 as follows. Stimulating economic growth by continuing to spend on development projects, to continue to provide support required for stimulating the growth of private sector investments, to maintain basic and essential and public service provided to Omani society, activate general financial planning by setting up a medium-term framework and budget ceiling, rationalizing public spending and enhancing its flexibility and efficiency, and continue spending within sustainable levels, restructuring general resources through enhancing the contributions of non-oil sector revenues and reduce dependency on oil revenues, reducing future and potential implications of budget deficit on financial stability and economy, to improve the efficiency of state-owned companies' performance through setting up a holding company. The general revenues in the budget amount to 8.6 billion Omani riyals, consisting of oil and gas revenues with 72%, whereas non-oil revenues reach 28%. The public spending is estimated by 12 billion Omani riyals, concentrated in expenditure of oil and gas production by 1.8 billion Omani riyals, and current expenditure in government ministries and units by more than 4.6 billion Omani riyals. Expenditure on development projects was estimated by 1.3 billion Omani riyals, whereas expenditure of security and defense reached 3.5 billion Omani riyals. Spending of subsidies dropped to 64% to reach 400 million Omani riyals. Education, health and social welfare sectors had a share of around 4 billion Omani riyals, from which 2.5 billion Omani riyals was allocated to the education sector, 1.3 billion to health sector and 163 million riyals to the social welfare sector. A privatization scheme shall commence as per a framework set for the period of 2016-2020. In addition, some assets will be identified for privatization during 2016, immediately upon the completion of a study being conducted. The budget deficit is estimated at about 3.3 billion Omani riyals, 38% of overall revenues and 13% of domestic production. This deficit shall be covered by different financing options available, such as borrowing from local and external sources and drawing from government reserves. Fiscal measures have been taken to deal with budget deficit and correct fiscal conditions, such as improving non-oil sector revenues. These measures, some of which are as follows: increasing corporate income tax rates, amending fees of real estate transactions and municipal fees imposed on lease contracts, revising fees of vehicle registration and renewal, as well as driving license, adjusting fees of some services provided by the ministries and government units. Measures also include rationalizing and reducing spending through revising local fuel prices so as to match with international prices, to stop expanding in organizational structures of the ministries and government units, postpone the implementation of non-urgent and unnecessary projects, abolish family and tour cars allocated for ministers, undersecretaries and senior officials. to stop allocating government cars to some positions and reinstate transportation allowance as set forth in the approved regulations, and banning the use of government vehicles after official working hours and rationalizing fuel consumption.
Secretary General of the Supreme Council for Planning issued a statement explaining the most important foundations and aims of the 9th Five-Year Development Plan. It said that this plan is the last stage of the future vision of Omani economy, Oman 2020, and paves the way to the future vision of Oman 2040. It came to strengthen economic diversity through developing promising sectors such as convertible industry, logistic services, transport, tourism, fisheries, wealth, and mining. The Council added that the plan aims to achieve a real annual growth rate of the gross domestic product around 3% on average during the period of the plan, and to score a total investment average of 8.2 billion Omani riyals per year at an average growth rate of 5%. It is expected that non-oil activities would increase by 4.3%, whereas oil activities are witnessing a limited increase of 0.2%. The statement predicted that the oil's contribution goes down in the gross domestic product at current prices from 44% during years of the 8th plan to reach 26% during years of the 9th development plan. And contribution of natural gas activities would drop to reach 2.4%. The development plan of civil ministries and other government bodies will focus during the first 3 years of the 9th plan on completing implementation of the projects delayed in the 8th plan, amounting to 8 billion Omani riyals, and an amount of 2 billion Omani riyals will be allocated for urgent projects. A new stage of diversifying sources of income started to reduce oil dependency by investing in other mineral resources. Studies of the Public Authority for Mining indicated possibility of commercial quantities of gold and copper along with ophiolite rocks in an area extended from the governorate of North Sharqiya to the extreme north of the governorate of North Al-Batina. Engineer Hussein bin Abu Bakr al-Zuwaidi, Director of Mineral Exploration, said investment efforts divided exploration area to 11 mining zones to maximize their economic benefits, especially with an emphasis that gold is available in different areas at the northern parts of Oman. The government endeavors to invest in gold mining, dealing with specialized companies with financial capabilities and technical experiences. Mountains constitute a large percentage of Oman's geographical environment, with abundant mineral deposits waiting for investors to induct into national income resources. The effects of the upper air trough started today in the northern governorates of the Sultanate. The wilayas of the governorates of Musandam witnessed moderate to heavy rainfalls, causing various wadis to overflow. Moderate to heavy rains fell in the governorate of the Al-Buraimi. Latest weather charts indicated that the north of the Sultanate will be affected by upper air trough. The weather in the governorate of Musandam will be partly cloudy from today, with chances of isolated rain, occasionally thunder showers. The effect will extend gradually over the governorates of Muscat, North and South Batina, Al-Buraimi, Al-Dhahira, Hajar Mountains and the adjoining areas. Still to come in our news bulletin. Misfat Al-Abriyin is one of the best Omani touristic places for mountain hikers from all around the world. Numerous awards achieved by Al Mazar Theatre Play for Disabled category from the Sultanate, in addition to won the Best Theatre Play in the 4th Theatre Festival for Disabled category in the GCC countries. This was held in the conclusion ceremony of the 4th Theatre Festival, which was held for 1 week in the Theatre of Higher College of Technology in Muscat. The festival came out with a number of recommendations, namely to enhance the interest for these activities and festivals and well prepared in sufficient period of time. More than 8,000 applications for commercial brand, patents, industrial models and copyright were registered during the last year in the Intellectual Property Department in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. The applications focused on the commercial brands, which reached 7,390, while 343 for patents and 212 applications for copyright field. Commercial Institutions Control and Audit Department in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry issued last year 37 administrative clearance to establish Omani Joint Stock Company. These clearances came to encourage the Omani and non-Omani investors to establish the joint stock companies, as well as encouraging the citizens to register these kind of companies. Oman Journalists Association awarded 23 of its who completed the 4th level of English language program that the association implements in cooperation with Languages Center at the Higher College of Technology. The programs comes within the framework of the association's plans in developing the member skills at English media writing due to their professional requirements to deal with the English speakers. Her Excellency Dr. Muna bin Salim Al-Jardaniya, Undersecretary of the Ministry of Manpower for Technical Education and Vocational Training, said in a statement that a number of journalists joined English language program, which is one of the programs supervised by Oman Journalists Association in cooperation with the Ministry of Manpower and Higher College of Technology. There are also a number of other programs and scholarships offered by the association. The role of the association is not only training but also qualifying, and this is the real investment on Omani journalists and authors. A challenging 2016, a challenging year for capital markets across the globe as well as Muscat securities market. Here is a special report by Sayyida Binda Bukhari.
MSM 30 index closed today at 5.4 points, recording an increase of 6.7 points, representing 0.12% compared with the last trading session. The value traded securities today reached 1.37 million Riyal Omani with a decrease of 90.6% compared with the last trading session, which recorded 14.54 million Riyal Omani. The market capitalization increased by 0.06% against last trading day, reaching around 15.79 billion Riyal Omani. It is worth mentioning that the value of shares bought by non-Omani investors reached 147,000 Riyal Omani, recording 10.72%. The value of shares sold by non-Omani investors reached 39,000 at a percentage of 2.87%. The net foreign investment on the market increased to 107.4 thousand Riyal Omani by 7.85%. 2015 has been a difficult year for the world financial markets as well as regional economies, coinciding with a sharp decline in the oil prices up to the levels of $30 have maintained a pressure on general indexes that dropped to new and honorary lows. Now, 2016 presents itself as a challenging year for the regional and global markets as well as the Muscat securities market. Sayyida Binda Bukhari from Muscat Securities Market.
Mithaq for Islamic Banking of Bank Muscat provided finance for the Oman national carrier to purchase the second Boeing 787 Dreamliner. The bank was successful to conclude the deal in accordance with legal standards and procedures in line with principles of Islamic Sharia to prove its ability to finance commercial deals at all levels. The beauty of nature along with farms and mountains made Misfat Al Abriyin one of the best Omani touristic attractions for mountain hikers from all around the globe. More details in the following report by Sultan bin Saif Al-Sarai.
Misfat Al Abriyin was the first place for these people to practice their hobby between its breathtaking nature. 45 men from inside and outside Oman gathered here to walk 5 kilometers route that crosses wadis, gardens and old villages.
Oman has a nature as well. I know that many of my friends from Finland and other countries of Europe are coming to Oman for a nice holidays and fishing and just hiking in the mountains. So we continue here as well for hiking in different parts of Oman.
Well, I arrived in Al Hamra and Misfah only yesterday, but yeah, for now I have a very good feedback. Lots of architecture, lots of culture, and for me these villages are really authentic.
This place is not for walkers only, but it's considered as one of the best touristic spots in the Sultanate that attracts many tourisms during this period. The amazing irrigation system, beside the old houses which reflect Omani people professionalism in these aspects, were among the best attractions.
I have visited Misfah for like 2 times before, and this is the 3rd time. And like I was really interested and amazed with the water irrigation system to irrigate the farms there, and how this worked for everyone for like thousands of years.
Within all these natural facilities, there is no question why always adventurers, hikers and photographers seek this spot to practice their hobbies. Spectacular mountain views with fascinating farms and irrigation system, all this in one small town in the heart of Al Hajar Mountains, and it is just a drop from Oman's beauty. Sultan bin Saif Al-Sarai from Adakaliya Governorate, Al Hamra.
In the wilaya of Dama Ta'iyin, early dates harvest started with Nagal dates. The citizens of the wilaya will witness rich dates harvest this year because of the reduction of palm trees dubas bug, in addition to the season being 10 days early, comparing with the previous years. Dates trading is not limited to the citizens of the wilaya, but it exceeded to reach Sultanate traders level and the Gulf Cooperation Council countries level. Now for the general weather forecast. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas overlooking Sea of Oman, with chances of scattered rainfall. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies. Winds will be north to northeasterly, light to moderate, occasionally active over the coastal areas. Seas will be moderate to rough with a maximum wave height of 3 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The General State Budget 2016 encourages economic growth through continued development spending on economic and social projects. As an addition to local sources of income, 11 zones prove that gold is available and awaiting for investors. And the governorates of Musandam and Al-Buraimi witness moderate to heavy rains with effects of the upper air trough starts over northern parts of the Sultanate. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.